What up, Game Squad? How are you guys doing tonight? I'm sorry for the late video. I have some stuff I have to work through. Some personal things, you know. So, but that being said, I feel really, really bad. If you want to like, share, subscribe, and notify, you hit those buttons. You know what to do. I promise you will not regret it. I'm going to share on Facebook. And then let's get this game rolling. What's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? Sorry for the late video. Give me a quick hot second. Don't forget to drop the like. I'll try to keep this. Oh god, it's gonna be at least a 3-hour video, I guarantee it. It's kind of late. It's a little bit late, Sniper Life. And I got some stuff I gotta deal with too. Some personal stuff. It's okay, it's not a big deal. Personal stuff at home with money and whatnot. Final episode, season 3. What's up, amazing gamer? So guess what? On the 14th, season 4, The Walking Dead, the final season. Yes. I can't promise that I will be up. This is at least going to be at 3 hours. At least that's what I'm assuming, because it's I'm doing the full episode. And I know that I got to go to I got to make a phone call.
Walking Dead.
I got to make a phone call after this, but I will remember to drop by and drop a like.
Whatever this thing is between us, I want to give it a chance.
Yeah,
And
baby.
I know the fact that David is back in our lives now makes this whole thing a little more complicated. But do you feel the same way?
Of course I do, sweet cheeks.
All the way.
Of course.
Oh my god, really?
Really.
Just look what he's done.
Yo, I let that dude turn into a zombie.
Very interesting conversation with your friend Eleanor last night.
Eleanor.
Isn't that right, Eleanor?
We did.
Yeah,
You
backstabbing
put me in a
skank.
no-win situation here. Both of them deserve to die for their crimes. However, Javi, I'll let you spare one of them. Just one.
Trip has to live.
Shoot him.
Wait! I said Trip should live!
No!
How about you take David and the rest of your people and just get the hell out?
We're leaving. All of us. Right now.
Ooh. You know what, David? I'm not cool with you.
She's coming for us.
Kate! No lie, you guys, I am not in a good mood tonight. It's not your fault. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. David is a horrible husband. I don't know if he's a good dad, but I know that he's a bad husband. That much I know. You know, maybe he's not that bad. Yeah, I have like some bills
While we're still breathing,
stuff.
Javi, I'm letting the bones speak to me.
Bones.
my God. Oh, I think I can hear them. They're saying, You're gonna lose, come mierda, so play already.
I must have inherited patience from Ma.
Oh, come on, man.
Calm down, David. No one is ever in a rush to lose.
Oh,
My beer's getting warm.
Drink faster.
I've never played, I don't know what, okay, this.
If he plays his last bone, you're out of the will, Javier.
Kicked out of baseball. Can't play dominoes. What exactly are you good at again, Javi?
At least I can actually play baseball.
Yeah.
Slugger.
That's enough, both of you. It's not Javi's fault he's a disgrace to the game of dominoes.
I won.
I've
That's
never
$10
played
you owe me.
dominoes.
Both of you. I know you're broke, Javi. You should sit out the next game, since we all know I'm gonna win. No shame in surrender.
Good game, bro.
Good game, David.
Good game. I'll be
Nicely
a
played.
good sport. I'll be
Yes
a
or not,
good
a
sport.
win is a win. Pay up, little brother. If you can.
I'll cover for Javier.
Oh, is it your turn to do that now? I lost track. Poor, helpless Javi.
Get my wallet, mijo.
Keep an eye on him. You don't want him snatching an extra 20 for gas money.
It's on the counter.
Yeah. Sure, Pa. Pa? What's this? Hey, man, I was reading
Rude.
that.
Rude.
What? What's up?
What the fuck is this?
None of your business.
He has cancer.
What? Pa, really?
I'm old. Old people get cancer.
I had cancer.
You
I'm not
didn't need
old.
to know.
That's not for you to decide.
Why didn't you
really
tell
should have
us?
told us. It's the right thing to do.
It's my cancer.
I hope
Get to
you
do
enjoy
whatever
the
I
game.
want. You know now. What difference does it make?
How bad?
It's okay, mijo. Ask me.
How bad is it?
You won't have to worry about paying me back that $10.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, Pa.
Hey, settle, David. Now,
You haven't told Mama.
and neither will either of you. You hear me? Mouth shut.
You gotta
That's
tell her,
not okay,
Papa.
Pa. You have to tell her.
When the time is right, I will.
That's not good enough.
It's good enough for me.
You're gonna need her help with this, Pa. Driving you to the doctor, getting prescriptions.
Wait, what are your options? Treatment, stuff like that.
Chemo, radiation, all that expensive mierda.
Had.
Great.
Have.
When do you start?
Yeah.
I turned it down.
Turned it down? You don't get to turn it down.
So much money, and for what? Another month.
a
Another game
cancer
of dominoes
survivor.
to lose? It's not worth it.
If I was still playing ball, I could have paid for it.
I'll pay for it.
It's not happening. Save your money.
Fuck the money. I can afford it.
You can afford it, David. But my pride can't. Let's play another game.
You are a fucking coward. A selfish coward. Javi, can you believe this shit?
Stop, David. David,
I get
stop
it.
it.
It's not fair, but come on, take it easy.
Yeah,
Sit
maybe a little
down.
bit.
Both of you. You know, I pray for daughters. Every night your mother was pregnant with both of you.
I'll be okay, you guys.
Please, God, a daughter. Anything but a son. Anything but another me. Anything but another hot-headed idiot with his heart in the right place.
Thank you for your concern. Hugs and
Anything
wishes
but
all
another
around.
foolhardy, handsome gambler. Anything at all.
Please, Papa. Don't give up. Fight. Fight for our name. For our blood. For our family. Please, fight.
You've got to fight, Ba.
You have to fight, Pa. We don't just give up. Any of us.
Okay.
It's my ear.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
I'm fine.
Oh, thank you, Pa. Thank you, Javi.
I'm
Now,
not
can we
dying
play another
anytime
game?
soon.
I'll grab some more beers. So, what are you really gonna do?
Truth be told, whatever gets your mother off my ass. You think you two were mad at me for keeping secrets? But it's good to see you and David on the same side of things, or a change.
Don't get
There'll
used
be
to
a name
that.
carved in stone before you know it, Javier. That'll be me. Letters on a rock that nobody wants to visit. I know you think you're strong enough to handle that alone. And so does your brother. And you're both wrong. You have to take care of each other. You two are all I'll leave behind. Like Gabe and Mariana will be for David.
Mariana's dead.
Legacy, Javier. It's all anyone leaves behind. That and their bones. Be brothers. Before it's too late. That's not too much to ask. One last favor for your old man.
You got it,
Okay,
Pa.
Pa. I'll try.
As hard as you can.
As hard as I can.
Is it okay if I steal his wife? Because I already done that.
I still need to pay David.
Pa.
Oye, if you had just won the game, we wouldn't have had this problem.
So you're blaming me for all this?
I'm depending on you, mijo. We both are.
I'm glad you guys are here with me. Keeping me company.
Kate!
I gotta save Kate. You know, if she's not already dead. I have no way of knowing. That's right, get the hell out of here. No! No! Crunchy.
Kate! Kate! Gabe!
Not letting that happen.
Kate! Gabe! David! Over here! Where's Kate?
She's not here. She must have gotten out.
If something's happened to her, if you've gotten her,
If I've what?
you better hope she's alive.
This is
We're
your
here
fault,
because
bro.
of you. If something happens to her, that's on you.
I didn't start this hobby. You did.
No. No, I didn't. This all
Kate!
started over a gas can.
Kate! Kate!
I didn't even look like her.
David, wait!
No. No.
I found
Oh,
you.
there you are, Kate.
Kate, I'm so glad
Javi,
you're...
thank God you're all right.
I got to tell
I'm
you,
just
bro.
glad you're
She's
still
my
in
she's
one
my
piece.
lady now.
Thanks for making it back to me.
You're alive. I thought I lost you back there.
Same.
What the hell's the matter with you two? Focus on your surroundings.
Okay.
There's Gabe and Clem.
Lead the way, Javi.
Get the knee, like this!
she still remembers Jane's trick.
I got a great teacher.
You guys all right?
Yeah. I'm fine.
Look at them! There's so many!
We'll be safer inside. Get in!
She remembers Jane's trick from season 2.
That should hold them for now.
You put up a good fight out there.
I don't care what you think.
Gabriel, do not take that tone with me.
You murdered that man after they let you go.
Sure did.
You're a killer. Just
Sure
like they
did.
said.
Hey, Johnny.
Did that?
You don't
How you doing,
understand.
bud?
It was them or us.
Haven't seen you
I
in
had to do
forever.
it. They would never let us go. They still would have killed us. Sooner or later.
It wasn't
They
necessary,
were
bro.
negotiating with us, David. Doing that to Clint wasn't necessary.
That's how you
No,
see
it
it.
wasn't this.
I would do it
Dude,
again.
His
Dude.
brains splattered all over me.
he let you
You
free,
are my
and you
son.
killed him.
I am doing what any parent would do to keep you safe. You do not get to judge my actions. Do you hear me? Hey, you do not walk away from me. When someone speaks to you, you stand up and answer them. Even if you don't want to.
David, that's enough. He's not a little boy. He doesn't need that from you.
What he needs is to learn to keep his opinions to himself until he understands what the hell he's talking about.
I know, Johnny. But
I'm
you're
just-
always here.
I'm trying to protect you, Gabe. I lost you once. I won't let it happen again. Okay?
We made it through alive. Let's just be glad about that.
We need to check the other entrances. Make sure we're safe. Gabe, want to help me out?
He's asking, not demanding, Gabe. You should help him, yeah.
Gabriel,
Go with
Go
him.
help him, Gabe. It's okay.
he doesn't need your permission.
I'll help too.
Okay.
I hope you're doing okay, Johnny. I'm glad to see that you're back, though.
Hey, Clem's with them. It's fine.
It's not that. It's... Let's just...
I'm
all over the place.
I'm
I
dating
need to focus on something.
my brother's wife.
Anything. Just need to focus. On whatever.
Let's find a way to help,
Let's
huh?
see if there's any way we can help.
You really think there is?
No.
After the damage we've done?
Let's find out.
Let's go.
We didn't start this.
Oh my god.
I thought you were gonna stream it,
This is a fucking nightmare.
Sniper.
Mommy, it's them.
Yeah, it's us.
I'm glad Mariana didn't live to see this. To
You
see
shut
what
your
father's
mouth.
become. To see what I've done.
But
She'd
first
be
off,
just like that little boy.
what you
Scared
did,
that the monsters are coming after her next.
what you did was an
She would
accident,
never trust us again.
and her father was always an
I
a-hole.
wouldn't blame her.
You're no
Kate,
monster.
come on. We're not monsters.
I don't know who we are anymore. But it's not the people she knew.
You know, it's been quite a ride, okay, Kate?
I did this to them.
No, you didn't.
That hole is there because of me.
What
Don't
happened
blame
was an
yourself.
accident. A bad one, but still.
You were trying to
You
save
do it
me.
on purpose.
But it's still my fault. I can't leave until I make this right. All of this.
I agree. Actually,
fix this.
I'm just saying
As best we can.
it's not your fault. You were trying to save my life. Let's make things
All right,
right.
Kate. Let's make things right.
I don't know if it's actually possible. But I feel a lot better knowing you're there too.
I'm not saying we shouldn't help save as many of them as we can. What I'm saying is it wasn't our fault. Oh, don't you get pissy with me because you stabbed me in the
Trip
back.
was our best friend, Javi. He died because of you. He didn't deserve this.
I tried to save
I didn't
him.
think she'd do what she did. Joan lied to me.
I never thought it would be like this. You have to believe that. Everyone but Prescott is dead.
Except for you.
Everyone but me.
Yup.
What's done is done. I don't have to like it. But I can't change it. But you've got a lot of nerve showing up here. After the bullshit you pulled.
What did I do?
You're unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
I did the
You saw
right
what
thing.
happened, Eleanor. I tried to negotiate. I wasn't the one who started shooting. But still, why? Why did you tell Joan what we were doing?
I was triaging a bad situation. Their doctor is barely functioning. And before you guys fucked it all up, their walls worked. It's not only about me. I can actually save lives here. Not just stitch them up and hope for the best. These people will die without me, Javi.
Yeah, I know.
I know she, well, fucked us over. But she's trying to help them. She's trying to make something right. That's worth forgiving, right? She's trying.
I'll forgive
That
her.
counts.
Eleanor's one of us. Maybe she forgot it. But I haven't.
I'll drop a like
Thank
for you,
you,
okay, Sniper?
Javi.
We should try to help. Not everyone here is guilty.
Fern. Is that you, darling?
I'm here, handsome.
Fern and Rufus.
You still
What's
there,
wrong?
Johnny?
Bitten. He's slipping in and out of delirium.
We have to find Ida. We have to find our daughter.
I know that guy. We had a situation. He's lucky I didn't shoot him.
Looks like his luck just ran out.
Let them have a minute. It's the least we can do.
Y'all get over here. You gotta cut his arm off.
It's too far along. I'm sorry.
Bullshit. It can work. I've seen it.
Do you want his last moments alive to be more painful than they need to be?
It
I
can
just
work.
want to try. I can't lose everyone. Please. I'm begging you. Please.
Okay, I'll try.
I'll try. Hand over that axe.
Thank you.
But, you see,
Don't thank me yet.
cutting off a limb only works if you do it immediately. I think Eleanor is right. I think we've waited too long. But I guess it couldn't hurt to try. Stop the bleeding! You know, he didn't have to bleed out, you know.
No.
Well, if you remembered to tie something around his arm to stop the circulation, he wouldn't have bled out.
He was too far along. The blood loss didn't help either, I'm sure.
I'm sorry. I tried.
So what can I do?
What the?
We're all fucking dead because of you.
Hey.
Ooh.
Easy.
You blew a hole in our wall. Got my little girl killed. Got my whole fucking family killed. Richmond was fine until your stupid
Easy,
ass
Fern.
showed up. We're dead fucking meat, David. Might as well take out this asshole while I can.
Fern.
Shut up.
Put the gun down.
Put it down. You don't want to hurt anyone.
But it was my baby.
Stand down. That's an order.
Kate, no.
Fern, this is all because of me. I caused the explosion. I killed your daughter. Please, forgive me. It's my fault.
Forgive us both,
Please,
Fern.
forgive both of us.
Oh!
Fern,
God!
Oh my God! Dad!
You're welcome, Javi.
Overkill much?
David, what are you doing?
This isn't right!
David! Oh my God!
This is a little
Did you
bit
really
much.
need to break her arm? That wasn't necessary.
Okay? Don't thank me.
No!
David! Gabe! I'm sorry, that was an accident.
You were going to kill her!
She was going for her gun!
Look at her!
Gabe,
She can't even stand up! What the hell is wrong with you?
It was over the line, Gabe. You're right.
We could have talked her down. We didn't have to attack her.
Gabe, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. You know that.
Why the hell are you all looking at me that way?
They're scared, David.
Of what? I'm protecting them.
Why are you pointing a gun at us?
Good point.
So I'm all alone. Fine then. You people are on your own.
Such an asshole.
You should be a little bit more respectful. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I've seen that look in his eyes before. You should go after him.
Who all do I have here watching with me?
David? What are you doing? Come on.
Yeah.
Just take a step back. You wouldn't want to, you know, slip or something.
Leave it like you
Come
guys.
over here. Or are you afraid of me too? I know the rest of them are. Right?
Takes a lot
Even
to scare
if
me.
they are, I'm not. I've dealt with scarier than you, brother.
There's no if, Javi. They are.
It's okay, man. You
My
don't
wife,
have to be
Javi.
here. If you're streaming,
My
I
son.
understand.
They look at me differently.
Maybe you're seeing them differently.
I want to show you something. Stand with me.
I'll stand with him.
Why the hell are you smiling?
See that sewer line over there? Perfect placement for a trench. That hill about 100 paces west of it. Sniper's wildest dream come true. I'm a soldier, Javi. I see this landscape like a painter sees a blank canvas. Like how you used to see a baseball diamond. I'm a soldier. This makes sense to me. I was made for this. I thrive in this.
Maybe
That makes
it's
sense.
crazy. But sometimes crazy things make sense. If only a little.
I'm surprised you understand. A soldier isn't a husband. Or a father. A soldier is a soldier. Nothing else.
So who do I
Nothing.
have watching here?
Nothing at all.
You're my brother,
Call
bro.
yourself whatever you want. I still see you as my brother.
That is kind of you to say, Javi. I wish I had your heart sometimes. I want to change, Javi. I always have.
Really? All you ever tried to do was get me to change.
Only because I couldn't bring myself to do it first. It's the one war I could never win. And I'm wondering why. Is it because I don't know how? Or because
wow.
it's impossible to change who you really are?
Why not? There's always
There's
a way, man.
There always is. No matter how lost you are. You just have to keep looking until you find it.
Looks pretty messy.
For now.
Maybe you're right.
Bro,
Maybe.
I'm dating your wife.
You gotta live long enough to find out.
Just like with anything else. I did what you asked.
You did. Thanks for that.
So now, will you step back?
Sure.
I found them! They're up here! Be careful, Javi. I ran into...
You ran into the girl who I didn't choose to save.
Outside when we checked on the entrances.
There are muertos everywhere. We got her inside just in time. Seriously, I've never seen so many muertos. Oh, it's awful out there.
That was the right thing to do. Proud of you, buddy.
Ava, about earlier.
I guess I owe you an explanation about what happened on the stage with Joan and Tripp.
You don't have to say anything to me. Your actions said plenty. I read you loud and clear. But
that deal
go
was
ahead and
bullshit.
say whatever you want.
Hey, don't get mad at me. It was a total no-win scenario.
Just be glad the situation was what it was. And that she didn't make me pick between you and your brother.
Yeah, because David, I'd be dead.
There's so many. They're pouring in.
No, actually,
You
I'd
don't
be
know the
alive.
half of it. The herd has taken over Richmond. The streets are filled with walkers. With that hole in the wall, this city is fucked. We're not safe here. No one is.
We got to try to save the city.
What the fuck have we done?
So what do we do? I don't want to die up here.
None of us do, Gabe.
We make this
Stabilize
right.
the city. Figure out how to make it safer for everyone.
I saw construction vehicles when we got the armored truck. We can use those to stop the muertos, seal the breach, and save Richmond.
That's over by the motor pool at the water tower. We could use the highway overpass to get to the water tower.
Come on. Let's jump.
Ayo!
Come on. It's an easy jump.
Keep your eyes open, stay aware of your surroundings. All of you. Let's move out. When we found Kate earlier, she hugged you. Why do you think she hugged you?
Is she my
Why was
girlfriend?
that? Just wondering.
She likes
That
me
can
more.
only mean one thing. She likes me more.
Not a great time to joke around, Javi.
He thinks I'm joking. Oh no.
We need to be careful up here, or else the exact same thing will happen to us.
I remember
Stay
that guy
sharp
from earlier.
And do not fire your guns. We're gonna be fine. That guy was all alone. We're not.
Yep. Hi, Julie. Are you new? I'm dating my brother's wife, and I feel like I'm horrible for it. But he a
Everyone
douche.
hold back. Let Javi and I clear out these walkers. Good to go. Let's move.
You okay, bud?
Well, I'm glad to see you here.
When I was little, Dad used to ask me what I wanted to be when I was a man. And I'd point at him. He always liked that.
Your dad's a
I thought he was
douche.
Such a great guy. Would always make him smile.
He did
David
his
may not
best.
be perfect, but he's not the worst role model in the world.
Maybe.
There you go, Kate. Feel free to subscribe. Hit the notify.
Tell me that all the time. Don't be a man who relies on other people to solve your problems. Because then you're not a man at all. I used to think he was right. Not anymore, though, Javi. I can only hope I grow up to be like you.
Oh, such flattery.
So,
Thank you, Gabe.
Oh, thanks, buddy. It means a lot.
I'm sorry I never really said it before. I should have.
Really, thanks a million.
You're welcome, a million.
This is one of my favorite games.
You took such good care of me. Now we need to take care of Dad.
If you want to become a member of the
He's the one
Game
who's
Squad, hit the subscribe and hit the notify. Do me a favor and also hit the like, too.
We're gonna have to go around the side.
There's barely any room.
We can do it. Ain't nothing to it.
Well, no time to waste. Come on.
You know, I didn't think there was much that could scare me anymore. And yet, here we are. Just goes to show you.
Oh my god.
Life is full of surprises.
It's not so bad, Kate.
This isn't that bad.
It's gonna get worse.
I believe in you guys. You can do this.
Oh, I gotta move. Okay.
Grab my hand!
Thank you, Ava.
You've got to be more careful.
Oh, fuck!
Oh!
Oh my god! Ava! Fuck!
Why you got to die right after you saved my life?
Ava sacrificed herself to save me. She was a fighter. Didn't take shit
Aww.
from anybody. You were
My
lucky to
heart.
have her.
Thank you so
all
much, Julie.
I would have died a long time
I'm glad to have
ago
you
without
here.
her. Thank you, Ava. Goodbye, my friend.
I'm gonna miss you, Ava. I barely remember anything about you, but I will miss you. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Remember, Kate?
We have to get across.
Remember, Kate? You said nothing's gonna scare you as much. Well, this is gonna be terrifying.
I know Gabe doesn't see it, but David really is trying to look out for him. He's not doing the best job, but no one gives you a rule book to raise a kid.
And they sure as shit don't.
There's just one thing I don't get, though. Did David really think he was helping AJ by letting him go? Why did he stop guarding him?
That one.
He was afraid. Holding a baby in his arms probably scared him 10 times more than any muerto.
I don't understand. After you put in all that work, so much of your heart.
AJ was a brat. He lived with me after we kicked you out, Clem. I'd already raised 2 kids. Thought it'd be a piece of cake.
You didn't raise kids.
Not with that tyrant.
You were in the
Isn't that why you
military.
gave him away?
We had a bad winter. Destroyed every crop we had. I couldn't leave Richmond. And AJ couldn't stay in Richmond. I gave AJ to Lingard and told him to do whatever he had to save his life. I miss that brat. Never asked Lingard about it again. Though I wanted to.
I'm gonna say something
I bet
nice.
the little brat misses you too. Both of you.
I'm gonna say something nice.
wasn't
I
easy,
could have been
Clem.
mean.
Remember, far as I knew, I'd already lost 2 children. Wasn't any easier with number 3.
It's never easy.
I'm gonna keep you alive. Keep all of us alive.
Thank you.
And hope that that's enough.
I can keep myself
Enough for
alive, you know.
atonement.
He was your responsibility, no matter what.
I thought it was best.
You thought wrong.
Yeah. Maybe I did.
Holy shit. Chopped right in half.
Where's the other half, though? Oh yeah, the other half is hanging off the plane. There, I see it.
Oh, there's the other half. No way we're jumping across that.
Not unless you're Spider-Man, or Daredevil, or Batman. Batman can do anything.
The hell happened here?
It looks obvious to me. Helicopter crash, go boom, knock out cement. No, actually, wait. What did happen? That helicopter wouldn't have been strong enough to knock out all that cement. Unless maybe it is, I don't know.
Well, there's the water tower. Not too far away.
This is gonna be fun. Alright, you guys. Show of hands if you would actually do this just for fun. Just for the hell of it. If you would do this part. The part that's about to come up.
You're not thinking.
It's that or go back.
We should go lightest to heaviest. That way it won't break on the first swing.
I'll go first, Clem.
Because I would be too scared to do it. I would be scared.
Get a long run up, but not too long. If you take too many quick steps, you'll propel yourself upward instead of out. Same with your jump. Just run off the end, don't leave.
David.
Try not to...
He's got this.
She's right. I do.
Come on,
Everyone
Clem.
else is doing it.
Your turn.
For the record, I do not trust this thing.
Noted.
Not at all.
I don't either.
It's one thing for the kids to swing across, but us?
Here's the secret. I guarantee you'll be just fine if you follow my advice perfectly.
Okay.
Whatever you do, don't fall.
I'm gonna push you off the side of this thing.
Hey, you can't deny I'm right.
So would you do it then? Would you do it, Julie? Would you do this? Because I love swings, but that's about the one time where I think swinging would not be for me.
You're definitely lighter.
Age before beauty.
Come on, you know the drill. Age before beauty.
You fucker.
Agreed. I am terrified of heights. I'd look at them and be like, let's take the long way. Oh crap!
Javi!
Javi, hang on!
Climb, Javi! Climb! Oh. Ugh. Got it. I would definitely go through the mountains of Moira first.
You okay?
Fuck helicopters.
Fuck that. Seriously? Fuck you, helicopter.
Yes. Agreed, Javi.
Almost there.
Weak ass blades. Is that zombie wearing a skirt?
I miss when all we did was track the herd. From a safe distance.
We need to get down there. We're not getting anywhere without one of those vehicles.
Yeah, that's
It's not like we
definitely
can just
wearing a
ask
skirt.
all those walkers to move out of the way.
How about we make some noise and distract them? We could use that generator.
That's a great idea, Gabe.
When'd you get so smart, Gabe? You really aren't the same kid I remember. I'm impressed, really.
You should have noticed.
Should have tried noticing.
I'm definitely paying attention from now on. Proud of you, Gabe.
Thanks.
We still gotta get to the generator somehow.
Cut a walker open and cover yourself with its guts. Then you can slip right through them.
That's really gross.
No, that's a great idea. Gross idea, but great. I could have saved my water bottle.
Yeah, that's my nephew.
So,
With the
who's gonna
beanie.
do it?
That's my
Javi,
nephew.
You've been willing to do some crazy stuff for me before. I know shooting Conrad wasn't easy.
No, I didn't like
but it
shooting
showed
him.
me I can always depend on you.
He had you and he had Gabe at gunpoint. There was no.
Look, it
no.
smells really bad, like way worse than you think.
Thank you for that, Clem. Thank you.
You'll do.
Really? Only one of them heard that? Ah? No. That'd be me.
You could do this, Javier.
Wouldn't want to smell it. Wouldn't want to breathe it. No.
I'm gonna be sick. Oh, this sucks. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. Do you just literally eat shit all day long?
Ugh.
Is that why you smell so bad? Okay. That better be enough.
No. No to you. Get the hell away from me. I don't know you. Way too dehydrated. Agreed, yes. Soylent jerky. That is actually pretty funny. No. I don't know you. Get away from me. I don't know you, sir. No. I don't know you either. Excuse me, miss. I like your skirt. No. Dude, you're wiping your face off with a dirty sleeve. I don't know how your dirty ass sleeve. Ask Clem for her shirt, the one around her waist.
We're here. We gotta find something to seal the breach with. All we need is the right vehicle. Oh, that's not gonna do the job, man.
Yes, it is.
What are you doing?
The right thing. I'm leaving. We're all leaving.
What? And going where? You saw it yourself. We're surrounded by the herd.
I'm taking my family out of here. You helped keep them safe, Clem. You're coming too. Let's go. Everyone.
No.
We can't wait around.
This is bullshit, David.
No.
Absolutely not. Everyone in Richmond will die without us.
They don't matter, Javi. Don't you get that?
This all started the day we knocked on Richmond's door. We brought this on these people, all of us. We can't abandon them. Not after what we've done.
We're going home, Kate. Back to the last place we were a family. We're starting over. We're all together again. Finally. It's time. All of us. New day.
No.
What about here, man? Make Richmond our new home.
Richmond is gone, Javi. I'm not gonna let the people I love die trying to save a dead dream.
I'll go with you, Dad.
Gabe!
Let him go.
He's my father, Clem. I'm sorry, but you really wouldn't understand.
Think this over, buddy.
Gabe, is this what you really want?
I know it's scary out there, but I have to.
You don't have to be afraid, Gabe. I won't let what happened to Mariana happen to you. You have my word. I will protect you the right way.
Uh-huh.
That's fucking bullshit, David. She was lucky to have us. At least we were actually around to raise her.
Javi, just stop. This is what I want.
I understand, Gabe. I'm still going back. I won't be able to live with myself if I don't try to help the people in Richmond.
You won't be able to live at all if you do that. Richmond is compromised. It doesn't matter if there were 5 of us trying to save it or 500. We'd all die. I know a losing battle when I see one.
You know, we can still try, David. You're a soldier. You were in the army.
How fucking dare you? What will it take, David? What will it take to show you that you do not get to do that? We are not your soldiers. Run away home. Be a deserter. I am done with you. Let's go, Javi.
Why the fuck do you think he would go with you?
She's gonna kiss me. Yeah.
Tell him.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Javi!
That one.
David, I thought you were dead. We were together in that van for years, David. I mean, years! You shouldn't be so surprised.
I should have known. I should have known the night Pa died. The night you weren't there. Blood is worthless to you.
I tried.
Just like he was to you. Just like I am to you. Well, it's time for you to finally learn what blood really means.
Oh, no. Ow.
What do you have to say for yourself, brother?
David! Stop it!
I love you. I'm not about to fight you, bro.
No, you don't get to say that!
Jesus Christ, stop!
Oh.
How fucking dare you!
No.
I love you! No! Stop saying that!
Dad, no!
Gabe!
Oh my God!
You're not taking my family from me!
David, no!
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
I love you, brother.
Woo. Oh, good girl, Clem. He was gonna kill me. What about to? Woo.
Holy shit!
That got really tense.
Javi!
David!
Bro.
What the hell is he doing?
David took him.
We can't wait any longer. We have to go help Richmond.
You thought I was
getting on
gonna
that
die?
bulldozer.
But Gabe!
Gabe wanted to go. He did. We all heard it.
You're right.
I'm going to save Richmond. Someone has to.
Let's split up, Javi. I'll go
Yes.
after Gabe on that motorcycle if you don't. Otherwise,
Good.
I'll go with Kate on the bulldozer.
Are you sure you'll be okay without me?
I can take care of myself.
We're out of time.
Javi, I'm sorry.
See,
I've
okay.
been here before. More.
Now I've played this before, and I gotta let you know that I got the ending that I want, like totally lined up for me. Because there are possibilities where Clem, the little girl, could choose to side with me, and she and I would then go to the objective together, and then there's the possibility that she would decide to go to the opposite objective to the one that I choose, so that way we have better chances. I prefer it when she goes the other route, because of the three people that could potentially die, that is Kate, David, or Gabe. If Clem splits up, she can protect one of them. She can protect Gabe, but she cannot protect Kate. So if I were to go, like, there's a possibility that only Gabe would live. Gabe? A possibility only David. Actually, no. There's a possibility that Gabe would live alone. There's also a possibility that Kate alone would live. There's a possibility if Clementine and Javier both go to save Gabe, that both Gabe and David live. And then if Clem decides to go after Gabe and I choose to protect Kate, then Kate and Gabe live. And I'm gonna choose to go with Kate.
It's not gonna end well for everyone. You have to decide.
Basically, no matter what I choose, somebody dies. Somebody dies.
I know that.
And I'm
Can't
back
let
to
Kate
go
go
with
by
Kate.
herself. It's too dangerous. I'm going with Kate to save the city.
Okay, then I'll go after Gabe. It's a smart idea.
Be careful out there, Clem.
You too. Both of you.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that no
We're gonna
matter what
drive
I
into the
choose,
herd?
somebody dies.
We're gonna need these.
Well, there's that, and, you know, my brother's an a-hole. So, if he were nice, maybe. Jesus! And I mean that
Can you help
legit.
us get the gate open?
That's
Almost
Jesus.
didn't recognize you, Jesus.
Once I got in contact with my people, I headed right back. Had to make sure you folks were safe.
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
We'll keep the muertos away. Just get me to the gate so I can open it up.
We're almost there. Javi, get in the busket and I'll lift you to the top of the gate.
Busket?
Okay.
The thing in the front, the scooper thing, whatever, get in it.
No. No. Get off.
Yuck.
I know, right?
Javi, the busket.
Right. Yeah, busket.
Nice of you folks to drop by.
Jesus, you is such a badass. I love you.
I'll have it open in a second. They couldn't just have open gate button.
No, that'd be too easy. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's the green button. It's always green.
You did it, Javi.
Bingo.
Let's get inside and wrangle the walkers together. If we get them in one group, we can lead them right out.
It's always the green. And then the red would lower it. No, the red sends out an alarm? So then what lowers it?
Full steam ahead.
No, get off of here. Get off.
Fuck this.
Okay, if I could have done that, why didn't I do that from the get-go?
They're piling up on the thing. The basket.
Shit.
Shit, I'm empty.
Here, take over.
Yeah.
Let's flood the breach with the damn truck.
Lift.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, I know. But I actually like mowing them down with my AK, with my gun. That was pretty cool though.
That's it. Let's get out of here.
Jesus, over here. We need to round up
Jesus.
these walkers.
My
Head towards
Jesus.
the gate.
But Jesus.
Welcome back.
I thought we were coming back to, well, not to this.
Yeah, a lot happened
Just
since
a
you
little
left me, bro.
surprising. That's all.
I'm just glad you didn't give up on us. Real glad.
I gave you my word.
Javi, look! It's Clem!
Ed and Gabe! My Gabriel.
No, he's fine. He's just banged up.
My boy.
Clem?
Their car got overrun with walkers and crashed. I was barely able to save Gabe.
What about David?
I'm so proud, Clem.
David's dead.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just glad you found Gabe in time.
Yes, thank you for saving Gabe.
I don't know what I'd do if I lost him too.
Of course.
Here's my
When I
boy.
got there, it looked like David had turned. And that Gabe had to stop him.
Oh God.
Ugh.
Gabe. It's horrible.
Respect, bro.
Javi,
Killing your own parent,
my dad.
even as a zombie, cannot be easy.
He's gone.
Come here, Ike.
No, he wanted me to tell you.
Oh, who's a good boy?
Take care of each other.
Where did you find them?
A little ways outside of town, not too far.
Can you take Gabe somewhere safe?
Yeah, sure.
Come on, Javi.
Where are we going?
A funeral.
We're gonna go find my brother's body. Hi, people. I'm Ike. I'm a cat. Oh, I figured out how to finally get him to start eating the carpet, too. I just smeared a whole bunch of hair conditioner on it. And now, he doesn't even like how it smells.
Over here, Gabe. It's this way.
My back still hurts.
my God.
Yeah.
Poor David.
Poor Gabe. I can't imagine.
Gabe had to do exactly what Carl had to do for Lori.
I had to do the same thing to Pa after he turned.
Oh my God, that's right. Oh, Javi, I'm sorry. He talked about this every day. What to do when he died. He was convinced it would happen in the field. Every day.
Sounds like him.
Not surprising. He was a soldier.
I used to hate talking about it, but it seemed to soothe him. He'd talk about his military funeral the way that other people talked about retirement plans. He'd only change the subject if I promised I'd bury these. He didn't care about burying his body. As far as he was concerned, this was him.
Really?
Help me dig. It doesn't have to be much.
It's funny. Like 100 years from now, someone's gonna dig that crap up and be all like, what the heck are these? And not know what dog tags are. And they're gonna be all like, David Garcia?
We should probably say something. That's what you do. Usually.
Ooh. Oh, I want to tell him that really mean one, something about stay gone this time, but I really can't. So I'm going to tell him to tell Paul I said hi.
When you see Pa, you tell him I said hi.
I don't hate David because I kind of
not paying him back.
I kind of respect him a little bit. He was not the kind of
say something.
I wish I could say that. Sorry I stole your girl. But let me get this straight though. I didn't steal her. In fact, she came to me. No, I'm kidding. Partially. I mean, it was kind of revealed during that whole scene when she accidentally broke a glass and he got more upset about the fact that the glass was broken than the fact that it cut her hand open and that she could need stitches. Like, he was all like, my CEO gave me that glass. What you gonna do? You gonna dig him back up and make him give me another one? And here she was standing there with her hand bleeding and I'm like, dude, least you could do is ask her if she's okay. Aw, we're holding hands. We must be in high school again. We must be two 17-year-olds. Oh, she left her wedding ring. I didn't even notice that until just now. Right back. Photo of a Trip is up here somewhere. These are all people that have died. Except for that's a really creepy looking old lady. Bye, Felicia. Oh my goodness. David's not that bad. I don't like him as a character. Like, okay, the first time you see him, he's introduced by punching Javier in the face because Javier was not present when his dad died. And Javi was only minutes late, I guess, but apparently everyone has been waiting for days. Then the second thing that made me dislike him was after the apocalypse breaks free, David takes his mother, who was bitten in the face, yeah, she got bit in the face, to the hospital. And then Javier, Kate, Mariana, which is David's daughter, you see her in the first couple episodes. She dies. It's horribly depressing. She was like the sweetest little thing. And Gabe are together for like 3 years. And it's revealed that they waited at the family house for I want to say like somewhere between 3 to 6 months for David to come back, and he never came back. And then you see David again later on in episode 3, and it's revealed that he's still alive. So then the first thing you do is you talk to him, and he's all like, well, I just assumed you guys were dead. And Javier's like, we waited for you, man. We waited months, almost half a year. And David's like, man, as soon as Mom died, I thought you guys were all dead. So I decided never to come back to the house, and I instead got together with my old army buddies. And I'm all like, me in real life, I'm all like, well, F you too, dude. If I had a wife and 2 children, I would at least go back to the house that I last saw them at, just to be sure that they weren't dead. But that's just me.
It was his own fault. If you regret helping me...
I don't.
If you're feeling any guilt...
I'm not.
Bury it. I mean it.
I failed him.
He was my brother, Kate. My blood.
I did fail him, though.
He was my responsibility, and I failed.
Kind of.
He failed himself. You did the best you could.
No. Part of me wants to say you're right, that is a bit effed up. But after a certain number of months, I personally would assume that they were dead. However, in my particular case, if I had a wife, 2 kids, and the apocalypse breaks loose, I would not immediately assume that they're dead. In fact, I would probably go back and search for them. After 3 to 4 or 5 months, yeah, and you haven't seen them, then it's safe to assume that they're probably dead. But not like a day after the apocalypse. You at least got to go make sure. I mean, at that point, it's still possible that they're alive. But David was just happy to assume that, even though the apocalypse had just happened, to assume that his family had immediately died, like right there. So
The quiet scares me.
What about now?
There's a lot of work to be done. The herd could come back.
I mean, hell, even 3 days, I would assume that they were dead, but...
Still, though, I feel more calm here than I ever did
Cloverfield,
in
yes.
an old van on streets with no streetlights. We earned this, Javi. We earned feeling calm in the quiet. Let's start a family.
Ooh,
You and me.
might be a little bit early on
A
that,
fresh
though.
start. What do you say? I think it'd be good for us.
Should I say yes? Should I say yes to starting a family now, or should I tell her to wait? I feel like my brother just died, and you were married to my brother for, I don't know, a couple years at least. Maybe we should wait, but I don't know. I mean, this is the apocalypse. She could be dead in like 5 days, because shit happens quickly, so you have no clue. I can respect that David was in the military. I feel bad. Maybe I'm not being lenient enough on the character, but he was just... A lot of things with that David struck me wrong. Okay, I guess I'll go for it.
You're on.
Let's make it happen.
Let's start a family.
Let's have babies.
You don't think it's selfish?
Maybe a little bit.
It's not the safest world outside of Richmond. Or inside it, truth be told.
So long as I got you, I'm not too worried about it.
We's gonna kiss? Okay, we's gonna kiss. Ow, my back. How did I injure my back? I really have no clue how that happened.
We'll be up there before we know it.
No, we will not,
Better
Kate.
do something worthwhile in the meantime.
You do not be jinxing me like that, saying my name is gonna be up on that dead people wall. I am not having that crap, Kate. Jinxing me like that?
Heading out?
Yes, indeed. We came here to put an end to the raiding. Looks like that's been done. Glad we got it settled. Gotta move on.
I like you,
I gotta
Jesus.
admit, man, you're a fucking badass.
Yes, he is.
You're a real charmer.
Jesus is gay, by the way.
You know that? Through and through.
Rad
I meant
armor.
to tell you, that armor you got is great.
Yeah. This is Richmond, yes.
Thanks. It gets the job done.
I don't know
I
if
meet
it's
a lot of people like you, Javi.
Virginia,
Someone
though.
genuinely good. It was my pleasure. Second chances are in short supply these days. That's what this place can be.
That
if you let
horse.
it.
Yo, that horse is standing at such an awkward angle. That horse, man.
Trust me, though. Life within walls is a hell of a lot different than life on the road. Don't take shortcuts like Joan. You gotta do the right thing.
That horse.
Good days, and especially bad.
I'll do it.
Absolutely. The right
I'll
thing.
be the leader.
No matter what.
Good to hear.
I'll be a good
I
leader.
read people pretty well. Little gift of mine. You're a capable guy, Javi. Change is in the air here. You can lead that change, and I think you should. For the better. God
I'll
knows
step
this
up.
town could use it.
You know what? I'm gonna step up. Lead this place in the right direction.
Then as far as I'm concerned, Richmond's in much better hands than it was.
Hey, Jesus?
What up, Gabe?
Hey, Gabe.
Thanks for, you know, not letting me get killed, and for coming back to help us.
Yeah. Thanks for that, man.
That's Clem.
Pay it forward.
Oh, wait, no, you're talking about earlier.
Be vigilant.
Never mind.
Trouble never stays too far away.
He was talking about when Jesus saved his life back in, like, episode 3. Jesus is a badass. What up, Clem? What up, girl? Oh, yeah, she's got to find her baby.
Don't remind me.
She's got to find AJ.
I'm not gonna say thank you for keeping me alive, but I'm gonna try and find something out there that might make me say thank you. Someday.
So where's AJ? Tell me. Where?
Do it for Clemmy.
Clem won't rest until she finds AJ.
No, she will not.
Where is he? Please, man. For her sake.
That boy is her life.
He's at McCarroll Ranch. It's not too far from here. That's where we left him, at least.
Thank you.
McCarroll
Good
Ranch.
luck out there, Doctor.
So you're out of here too, huh?
I adore Clem.
Yeah. It's time. I have to find AJ, Javi. I've waited so long. But could you do me one last favor before I leave?
What up? So Julie, Jules,
It's nice of you.
have you
She
played
thought I
this
was
game?
terrible at it.
Have you
Were
played
you?
this before?
None of your business.
I'm really gonna miss Gabe. I mean, he's super annoying sometimes, but I've
Aww.
gotten used to having him around.
You got a crush.
At least to have someone to talk to, even
Dude's
if
got a
he is a
Mondo
total
crush on
dork.
Not that he said anything to me in particular, but you know the guy's got a Mondo crush on you, right?
He does not.
Oh my gosh, you have a crush on him too.
I do not.
Well, you both have my blessing.
I'm gonna stab you with those scissors.
Have you played any of the other games? The first 2 games?
I have
You
to
should.
see AJ, Javi.
I love Clem.
I have to see that he's okay. Do you think he remembers me?
AJ is 2, by the
At
way.
least a little?
He was a baby in the 2nd season.
Maybe?
Who could forget you, Clemmy?
Clem? No one who knew you, I guarantee it.
Clem is an absolute
Yeah,
sweetheart.
Maybe.
I freaking
Everyone
adore
told
this
us he
girl.
was better off. After everything that's happened, I'm starting to think they're right. I don't know if I was a good mom or not.
No. No, it's in the second season. Clem is only like 14 years old. She's basically a baby's adoptive mother because the real mom was a... You should play season, or at least watch season 2. I have that on here, but the baby's real mom was... Okay, she's dead. And Clem is now... Because, yeah, in season 2, Clem was there for the baby's birth. Clem was also in season 1. But Clem was only an 8-year-old girl back then. And then in season 2, she's 12. In season 1, you play as Lee, and you take care of Clementine. And then, like, you have this special father-daughter relationship. And then something happens, and then Clementine is on her own in season 2. And, like, throughout the game, she meets and takes care of a whole new group. And then, like, one of the ladies gives birth, and she has a son, and his name is Alvin Jr., but AJ for short. And that's who AJ is. AJ is the 2-year-old now that Clem is currently trying to get back to, because they took the people that my brother, Javier's brother, took AJ away from Clementine. And she is now trying to get AJ back because Clementine used to be a member of their group, their survival colony. And then when she was kicked out of their group, she was all like, well, let me just take AJ and we'll go on our way. And David, my brother, was all like, no, the baby stays. And then Clem was all like, but I arrived with him and I raising him right now and I'm all he knows and I'm all he has. And my brother's all like, yeah, I don't care. He stays. And you go. Bye-bye. So then they kick Clem out. And then she comes back like a little hell spawn and continually tries to get the baby back. She's awesome for a little kid. And I absolutely love her. I do. I adore Clem.
I can't stop thinking about it.
You did your best as a mother.
It's not about good or not good. You kept him alive. You did your job.
Until someone else had to do it for me.
Yeah. That was messed up.
Gabe told me you used to play baseball.
Yep.
I did. I loved it.
He told me you fucked it all up, too.
Yep. Gambling.
Yep. Sure did.
Well, you survived.
I had to.
But you loved it. How do you survive that? How? If you really loved it, how?
That's what's good about a broken heart. When you're looking at it all broken and shattered on the floor, you figure out the pieces you need versus the ones you liked. If you're ready to move on, that is.
I like that. That's some pretty good advice.
All done.
Well, how's it look?
It's cute. Your hair's adorable. I love it.
You know what? I'll grab your hat.
I can't wait for The Last of Us Part 2. I already did Part 1. But this is an amazing game series, too.
Your dad ever teach you about baseball?
I love your hair, really. Clem. You're adorable.
And I'll tell you all about it.
It's even better with your hat.
It's a deal.
You're so freaking cute, Clem. I love you.
If I bring AJ back with me...
Oh, you can stay forever.
Teach him too?
Yes. Bring him back.
You bet. He belongs with you, Clementine. Bring him back.
Jules, don't you love her hair? I think her hair is freaking adorable as hell. Sorry, Julie, not Jules. Clementine, my little young lady, I love it. She's got such a cute little coat on too. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the thing about Clem is you first meet her when she's 8 years old, all the way back in season 1 of the very first game. And now that she's like 14, I feel like I've raised her myself. And they've got the new season coming out, and it's the final season, and it's called Telltale's The Walking Dead, the final season, and it's all about Clem and AJ. And it comes out in 2 weeks, the first episode, and I'm super excited because AJ's like an 8-year-old kid now, so that puts Clem at the very least in her 20s. And so now I feel like I'm a proud parent because I watched Clementine's character grow up. I freaking love it. And her coat, she looks like such a young woman. Look at that. I feel so proud. I feel soups proud, man. P.S. She could do way better than Gabe. Just saying. All right. This isn't the end of it, though. We got more to look at. Your experience with David was dysfunctional. Of course it was, because everything with that bro is dysfunctional. You accepted his hand after he punched you on the night of your father's death. You tried to leave Richmond without David. In his time of need, you distanced yourself. Gabe had to brain his own father after David turned. Yeah, that was pretty twisted. Your experience with Kate was mixed signals. You were relieved to see Kate alive in the junkyard. You supported Kate's plan to escape Richmond. You told Kate you wanted a future with her. You told Kate you wanted to start a family with her. Your experience with Gabe was caring. You made Gabe happy by agreeing to stay in the trailer for the night. You told Gabe the truth about his neighborhood friend. You helped Kate save Richmond after going after Gabe. I have no clue how that's mixed signals, man. I was pretty definite that I liked her. New Frontier story. Trip. Oh yeah, he's dead. You reassured Trip by promising you wouldn't cause trouble in Prescott. Then you went behind Trip's back to get to the junkyard sooner. But my family was in trouble, man. Finally, you picked Trip to live. But Joan shot him to teach you a lesson. Yeah, well, fuck Joan. I like Trip. Trip was a good bro, man. Trip was awesome. He was loyal. He had your back no matter what. And at the end of the day, I did try to save him, and he got shot because I chose to save him. That was horrible. And Eleanor, man, I liked you at first too, but then I got mad. You took Eleanor up on her offer to sneak away on horses to the junkyard. Yes, because again, my family was in trouble. I had my brother's wife, my niece, and my nephew, and their lives were in trouble. I had to go save them. Then Eleanor leaked your plan to incite resistance against Joan. Yes, Eleanor stabbed me in the back. But you forgave Eleanor for betraying you to Joan. Because Eleanor's a frickin' doctor. Well, she was a paramedic. But she's the closest thing to a doctor the apocalypse has, okay? Like, she was a paramedic. She said that she was an EMT before the apocalypse. And that's medical training you cannot overlook. Ava. Clementine declined Ava's offer to meet with the New Frontier. Then you convinced Ava to help you after she caught you and Gabe stealing guns. In the end, despite you not picking her to live, Ava died saving you on the overpass. I remember that. Ava, you are a trooper too. Lingard. Clementine ignored Lingard's medical advice regarding AJ. Well, who is not going to inject... Look, okay, if your baby is dying and you think medicine might save him and the doctor says not to use the medicine, you're going to risk it and use the medicine. Like, that's your baby. Well, your adoptive baby anyway. Then you refuse to give Lingard a lethal injection. I am not about to euthanize the bastard, okay? After the chaos, Lingard told you where AJ is located. Conrad. You coached Francine through Conrad's poker game. Then, when Gabe threatened Conrad... when Gabe threatened Conrad, you convinced your nephew to lower his gun. Oh yeah, that. Later, you shot Conrad in the tunnel after he threatened Gabe's life. He also threatened Clementine's life, and I wasn't having that. Jesus. When you met him, you trusted Jesus. Because I know Jesus. I read the comics, man. Jesus is a bro for life. Then you promised Jesus to always do the right thing in helping Richmond survive. Lastly, you promised Jesus you would help lead Richmond. New Frontier, Joan. Man, F Joan. You told Joan the New Frontier was to blame for Mariana's death. Well, they were, and are. Well, were. They're all dead now. Then you brought Max to expose Joan to Richmond Council. Currently, Joan's whereabouts are unknown. F Joan, man. Clint. Clint kicked you out of Richmond for stealing gas. Then you took Clint's deal and spared Joan's life. Finally, despite the fact that Clint saved David, David shot Clint on stage after you agreed to Clint's deal. Another one of the reasons why I dislike David, man. Did you stand with David on the ledge? Of course I did, man. Of course I did. What did you say to David about Kate? 28.3% of players came clean about your relationship with Kate. Wow, most players confessed your love for Kate. Okay. Players denied having a relationship with Kate, but David didn't believe you. Well, not having a relationship with her is a possibility, but he's still not going to believe you anyway, so. Did you fight David back? Wow, most people decided to stand by his side and let him beat the living crap out of you with a socket wrench. Or a monkey wrench, I don't know. Went with Kate. Yep, so most people chose to be with Kate. After the fight with David, Clementine followed her own plan, splitting up with you and 53.3% of players. Wow. So a large portion of people sacrificed their version of Gabe. Or not sacrificed, had to lose. I don't know. Depends on the situation. I wouldn't about to lose Gabe though. Your Clementine became spirited and assured. When tragedy struck the Wellington community, which is the community that Clementine and AJ were at the beginning of the game and at the end of Season 2, by the way. Just backstory. Clementine had only seconds to grab her friend Kenny's hat before she and AJ were forced back on the road to fend for themselves. Of course, I would not about to leave Kenny's hat, man. I couldn't do it. Kenny's... I cried for Kenny, man. After circumstances forced her to join the New Frontier, Clem did not hesitate to use the resources for her own ends, leading to exile and a tearful farewell. Yeah, because they took my baby. They took Clem's baby. When Javi and David fought after the water tower, Clem remembered a similar fight long ago. She took control of the situation by putting a gun to David's head, stopping the violence before it escalated. I remember that fight. I am not giving any more spoilers on that. Once David left in the truck with Gabe, Clementine knew the best course of action was to go it alone. Leave Javi's side and help the person he did not choose. Which, by the way, is my preferred ending anyway, so... Now this ending, this cutscene is amazing. I love this cutscene. This song fits so well.
find you, AJ.
You better find him, Clem. Clementine's story will continue. Yep. Are we going to see it in about 2 weeks? Now, Julie, if you're still here, I do got to warn you. Telltales, which are the creator of this game, they release their episodes. It's going to be horrible for me to say this, but their episodes are released every other month. You've got to wait 2 full months for episodes, and there's 5 episodes per season. So, yeah, in about 2 weeks, we'll see the first episode of season 4, and it's going to be Clem and AJ. And AJ's a 8-year-old little man now. And Clem is... well, Clem is amazing. Yeah, that's a long wait, isn't it? 2 months. Well, yeah, like 2 months. So it does every other month. We'll see the first episode in about 2 weeks. That being said, you guys, this is the last episode of this season. And I will tell you one thing, I freaking love Clem. I can't even stress this enough. Clem is... yes, it will give you time to catch up. Either you can play the game yourself, or you could watch my playthroughs. Because I'm completely caught up. I'll play it, all of them. I might have to do the Michonne deal, the Michonne game. If you read the comic books or watch the show, then you would know of the character Michonne. She has her own standalone Walking Dead game, which I'm also probably gonna play. I kind of love it, and it's only 3 episodes, but it's an old game, so all 3 episodes are already out. Now the thing about Michonne is she is a major badass in the comics and in the show, and she is by far my favorite character. Yep, she's my favorite character. Now the Michonne game is a little bit there's, like I said, there's only 3 episodes, and the Michonne game is kind of draggy. Like, it takes a while to get into, but I love the music and everything. All I know is that when I'm done with The Walking Dead, I have no clue what game I'm going to play on Fridays to replace The Walking Dead. I loves me Michonne. Michonne is... okay, so if you read the comics, then you would know that Michonne actually has a... Her history is never fully expressed or known. Michonne is... you're right, she is an enigma. Well, the thing about the Michonne minigame, the whole thing about this game here in particular, is it takes place in the comic book universe. It takes place within comic book continuity. Not the show. The comic book. The comic book came first, and this actually takes... I'm not going to say that again. But there is a point in the comic books where Michonne breaks off from Rick's main group. Oh yeah, no, if you play season 1, like, they're all... Jesus is not the only character that crosses over into this game. At no point does Clementine ever become a member of Rick's group, but she has met several other members, including Herschel, Green, and Glenn, because they both appear in season 1. They both make pretty striking appearances in season 1. Actually, you see the death of Herschel's son, his oldest son, Sean, in season 1. And Sean never actually appears in the comic books. He does, but he appears as a walker, because he was one of the zombies that Herschel had in his barn. So that's a little bit of interesting backstory. Now, what I was going to say is that the Michonne game, originally it was just going to be a mini-series, a mini-game, with like 3 short episodes, but they are full-length episodes, and so they dropped the whole mini-game title. It just went straight for a Michonne game adaptation. And it does feel like a full game. The thing I like about the game, though, is it actually shines light on Michonne's backstory. Okay, so if you read the comic books, you know that there is a point where Michonne, it was right after the prison, it was right after Rick's group starts living in the prison, but before they left the prison, Michonne briefly leaves Rick's group for an undefined period of time, and then she goes and she meets a new group, and she's with them for like I would say maybe half a year, like, I don't know. She becomes good friends, and in fact, one of the members of that group goes back and becomes an official member of Rick's group once that other group basically dies, because, you know, The Walking Dead. No group lasts forever. So, the Michonne game tells us what happens during that interval of time where she is away from Rick's group and then later rejoins his group. Those 3 episodes take place in between then. But during those episodes, you actually find out about Michonne's life pre-apocalypse. You find out that she was a mother. She actually had children, which we kind of already knew, but was never officially confirmed. Well, guess what? Now it's confirmed. She had kids. And she actually had... She had a baby daddy, too. I don't think they were together. I think she blamed him for the death of her kids, because she had 2 kids. She had 2 daughters, apparently. In the show, they reveal that she had a son. But in the game here, they talk about how she had 2 daughters. And this was before the apocalypse, before her kid dies. Hey, don't be talking about my Michonne. I'm kidding. I love Michonne, though. Michonne is my favorite. So, Michonne is my favorite character. I feel like I'm ranting on. But I do want to say that Michonne is probably my top favorite character. In fact, my top 3 favorite characters... I'm not going to lie. I have a stronger preference for female characters. I feel... I grew up in a household of basically nothing but strong, independent young women. So, I mean, I had a couple male role models, but having 2 sisters, a single mom, an aunt, my grandmother. I mean, I had 2 male cousins, and I had male role models, but I just had lived with my mom and my 2 sisters for the most of my life, so I relate to females probably a lot easier. So if I'm being honest, when I pick favorite characters, they're most likely going to be women. And in terms of The Walking Dead, my favorite character is Michonne, followed by Andrea. I also like Maggie. And I'm a pretty big fan of Daryl and Carol. And I know that there's one... Oh, yeah. Well, Andrea was my favorite. And that's not even just in the show. In the comics, Andrea became a true, and I mean true, badass. Like, legit hero-type badass. In the comics, Andrea ends up with Rick. Not Michonne. Michonne ends up with Ezekiel. Well, oh yeah, Morgan is another one of my favorites too. Morgan, Jesus, Michonne, Maggie, and Sasha were my top 5 characters for like the longest time. Did I say Andrea? Yeah, I said Andrea. And then I think it was Daryl and Carol that were also my favorites, but my top 5 were, you know, Michonne, Maggie, Andrea, Morgan, and Jesus. And the reason why I think Morgan and Jesus were on that list was because in the zombie apocalypse, it's easy to be a badass when you've got a whole bunch of guns and ammunition and you know how to use it. But in the case of Jesus, who is a kickboxing master, his preference of fighting is with his hands. And the same with Morgan. Morgan uses a staff. And he is a huge badass with the staff. Well, do you want to know... Okay, if you guys have any questions about how some of these characters end in the comics, because the comics is very different. You should definitely read the comics. I did get pissed with the way Andrea ended in the show. But her death in the show, by the way, I cried. Simply because she died a hero's death. She died trying to save lives. Many lives, in fact. In the comics, she died a punk's death. And I mean like a legit punk. She became a huge badass. She knew how to fight. Like, she could scrap. And she was a master snipe. Yeah, and Sasha, my gosh. Sasha's death made me cry too. But do you want to know what pissed me off about Andrea's death in the comics? Go ahead, ask. Her death in the comics, man. Andrea's death in the comics was nothing like it was in the show. In the show, Andrea died because she was trying to save Woodbury and Rick's group and trying to keep the peace. And she thought the governor could negotiate. In the comics, she lives for much longer. Actually, she lives for significantly longer. Andrea was alive up until like a year and a half ago in the comics. She survived not only Woodbury, she survived Negan. She also survived the war that's currently going on in the show. She survived that long, and she became like the resident sniper, man. She was becoming a bit of a sniper even in the show too. Like, if you remember Herschel's Farm, she was the one that had the best potential. Even Rick said it, that she was light years ahead of everyone else in the group. He was teaching them all how to shoot, and he was all like, well, Andrea, you're ready for moving targets, and they're still using regular targets. And Andrea's all like, yeah, well, I just was natural. And Rick was all like, man, a lot of respect. I wish I had that kind of natural instinct. And it's true. Well, in the comics, she survives way past the war, and she hones those abilities. Yet she still dies because Eugene, who I kind of blame for her death, was not paying enough attention to his surroundings. Andrea noticed that there was a walker, and she jumped in between the walker and Eugene and sacrificed herself and ended up getting bit to save Eugene's life. And when I found that out, I nearly had a rage. Like, I nearly raged, man. Because, like, okay, I like Eugene, but dude's a punk. And he a bit of a... Well, you know the other word for cat. He's one of those, right? His only redeeming quality to me is the fact that he's the only character that knows how to make bullets. And at that point in the comics, he had already started teaching other people how to make bullets. Other people knew how to make bullets, so he was no longer useful to me, in my opinion. So I'm all like, okay. So then Andrea is all like, oh, yeah. So she jumps in between the walker and Eugene, and while I don't hate Eugene, I was pissed when I found out that he is the reason she died, because she felt the need to sacrifice herself to save him. And I'm all like, Andrea, man. He had already started. He was already training other people how to do what he knew how to do. Like, other people already basically knew how to do it. So, he's smart, and I'll give him that. But that's why I prefer, if Andrea's gonna die, I liked her death in the show better. Because she was trying to keep the peace, and she trusted the wrong person, and it got her killed, as opposed to her just recklessly risking her own life to save a punk. I like Eugene. Eugene's funny. He's cool. And I can kind of relate to his nerdy side. But if I had to pick between Eugene and Andrea, you best damn well believe I'm going to pick Andrea. Yeah, actually she did no scoping. She was able to basically spot it, yeah. I don't know about 360, but she was pretty badass. Am I the only one that thinks that this whole thing between Rick and Michonne being together in the show is a little weird? Like, not even in the comics. In the comics, Michonne ended up with Morgan, and then Morgan dies, and then she ends up with Ezekiel. Yeah, I think it's weird to me. Michonne, Andrea, Battle Royale. I think Andrea was one. But to me, the thing that I like the best about Michonne is that she was kind of a loner. And while I think it's cool that she ended up with Rick's group and became a member and ended up becoming not so much a loner anymore, I felt like she didn't need somebody to be with. I didn't mind it when she ended up with Ezekiel or even Morgan, because both those characters were kind of similar. The thing about Rick, well, actually, there's two reasons why I don't like her being with Rick. First off, Rick does not have the best track record for women that he likes, because he's already lost like 2 love interests now. But the other thing about Rick is that Rick is your typical hero type. I don't think he's into the whole independent, I can protect myself kind of girl. In the comics, he's way into the Rick was a pickle. Yeah. Like, if you guys ever have time to check this out, I highly recommend you guys looking up a video, looking up a channel. No, look up the video because the channel's connected to it. It's called What If The Walking Dead Had Facebook. It's amazing because the channel does that for basically anything. Like, they have what if Marvel had Facebook, or what if Marvel had texting, or what if Disney, you know, that kind of thing. But you get to see what they think the characters would interact, like over Facebook. Like Michonne, and I know that I'm dragging on. I just don't feel like getting off. I just don't feel like getting off stream right now. But Michonne puts like during the video, one of the clips was Michonne changing her relationship status to fit her and Rick, and it goes, Michonne is now in a relationship with Rick. So then Sasha comments, and she goes, "Oh my God, no!" Exclamation point. And Michonne was like, "What?" And Sasha was like, all of his girlfriends die. I don't want you to die. I like you. And Michonne was like, what? No, I don't want to die. It is pretty funny. They were also talking about fashion statements. It's pretty amazing. I gotta look that shit up again because it's hilarious. Like, it is hilarious, man. What if... I know at one point... Oh yeah, okay, so if you guys remember early on in the first, like, I think season 4, because, wow, God, it's like 7 seasons now. But it was right after Eugene and... What's his name? Abraham and Rosita were introduced. You know, you remember that group, the wolves? Well, so like in the video, one of the wolves was messaging. One of the wolves put up a thing and it said, "We are now open for business," and it's a cannibal restaurant. And Glenn left a 1 star, and he was like, "No, it wasn't Glenn. Who was it?" They left a 1 star. No, it was Sasha's boyfriend, the black guy that died. You know, the one who had his leg chopped off. Sasha, that guy. He left like 1 star, and so the wolf dude or whatever. No, it was Terminus. That's what it was. It was Terminus. He left The guy from Terminus responded, and he was like, "So sorry you had a bad experience here with us. If you'd like to return, well, sure, we'll make it worth your while." So then the guy was just like, "I don't remember. I honestly don't remember." Oh yeah, no, Glenn said, "Do you guys do deliveries? Because we're currently holed up in this church," and that was with Gabriel. And the guy was like, "Yeah, we'll deliver to you. Where do you live? So we can come and deliver." And Glenn was all like, "Yeah, we're holed up in this church." And he gave him the location, and he goes, "Don't worry though, it's definitely not a trap." But if in the show, if you remember in the show, it actually was a trap, and it was pretty hilarious. Yeah, Glenn was just like, "It's definitely not a trap." And I think at one part. Oh yeah. Sorry, and I'm spoiling the whole damn thing, but it's just so funny. It's so funny. I gotta tell you the one more. I promise I'll stop. I promise. Do you guys remember the dumpster? You guys remember when Glenn and that dude got trapped on top of the dumpster, and then they fell over, and then Glenn got stuck underneath the dumpster, and that was like the mid-season break. And so people were waiting for like 3 to 4 months to figure out if Glenn survived. Because yes. All right, so they did that part in the video too. And it was also really hilarious. It was who was it that put up? Somebody put up one of the characters put up a status saying that Glenn had died. Who was it? I'm trying to remember who it was. I know it was one of the main characters. But then Maggie responds, she comments on the status, and she goes, "Glenn, no!" in all caps, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And then, like, a couple minutes later, it says, "Glenn has arrived in Alexandria." So then Maggie comments on that, and she was like, "Oh my God, yes, you're alive!" Exclamation point, exclamation point. And I'm like, oh my God, this is hilarious. So Glenn was like checking in at Alexandria. Then Glenn was like, "Whew, that was a close one." And then Rick comments and he goes, "I know, it was so close." And Michonne was like, "Glenn, you've had more close calls than Rick has burnt down our home bases." And then Rick responds to Michonne and he goes, "I ain't burned down that many home bases. Name one." So then Maggie says, my daddy's farm. And then Rick goes, name 3 more. And then who was it? Michonne says, the prison. Daryl's like, Woodbury. Carol said, what was it? Terminus or something like that. Gabriel's like, my church. And then Rick said, I said name 3. ... And then Carl was like, you're a bad dad. And then Rick responds by yelling, Carl! And I'm sitting there laughing my freaking ass off, man. I'm all like, if only this were all real, it would be amazing. Oh, my back. But yeah, so if you look it up, it is What If The Walking Dead had Facebook. They've got a whole bunch of other videos. They also do What If... oh yeah, it's amazing. It is super amazing. And if you also have time, there's another channel too. It's called Hishe. It's Hishe. And they do short animations on how videos should have ended. Or like on how movies should have ended. Like they do it in an animated format. It's pretty hilarious. I don't know if I should explain much more than that because it's way too many spoilers in that. But most of them are centered around the idea of Batman and Superman having coffee in a cafe, and it's called the Superhero Cafe, right? So then Batman and Superman are sitting in a cafe, and whoever's movie was out that week would be basically joining them. For instance, a couple months ago, they did how Infinity War should have ended. So basically, it's Batman and Superman plus every Avenger that was like in the movie. And they were talking about how all of the different plot holes could have altered the story of the film. Like how Thanos probably should have lost a couple dozen times over. Because Doctor Strange is extremely OP. No, like legit, Doctor Strange is super OP. He could have just used one of his teleportation spells to chop off Thanos' arm, for instance. Almost immediately would have won right there. Oh yeah, that whole scene with Star-Lord was annoying as hell. Sorry, spoilers. Spoilers. And then I think there's another channel that you should check out too. It's called Cinema Sins. And what they do is they point out all the flaws in movies. Like they did one on, just as an example, if you've ever seen Titanic, this is a little bit of a long one. Maybe I should do a podcast. If I start doing podcasts, I could just like rant forever. Then I'll talk to you guys and I'll respond to what you guys say. If I start doing, should I do a podcast? Like a weekly live stream podcast and just like do that? Like maybe 20 minutes? I don't know. But CinemaSins. Now CinemaSins, they do a thing where they point out the flaws in movies. Okay? You've seen Titanic. Don't tell me you haven't, because basically everybody's everyone's seen that movie. I know it's a 4-hour-long film, but I can't think of one person, except for maybe somebody under the age of, I don't know, 18, 19. Julie, you've seen Titanic, right? Okay. What I'm about to say, gonna blow your mind. Because what they do, CinemaSins, what they do is they point out egregious flaws in logic and error and like movie flaws, basically. And the one that always stuck with me, there's actually two that stuck with me, right? And I'll try to get through it real quick. Oh, I love Celine Dion. Anyway. So you know that part at the end of it? I'll get through the other one too. I'll try to be quick because I don't want this video to drag on forever and ever. But you know at the end of the film where, because they decided almost entirely to skip over that argument. You know, the argument that everybody has, the one that whether or not Jack could have also survived on that debris and the floating door. They skipped completely over that because they were all like, look, you know what? Instead, why not just say that he could have found his own? I don't know. Because they said that argument has been hashed to pieces and they themselves were tired of it. They did say that at the end of the film, when Rose dies, like they were like, so that's Rose's granddaughter at the very beginning of the film, the woman that's taking care of Rose. I'm sorry, Sniper, you don't have to stay. You can go if you want. I'm just going to finish my rant really quick, I promise. But I appreciate that you stayed. I did leave a like on your video, by the way. I just wanted to get the rest of my video done before. Anyway. So, the chick at the beginning of the Titanic film is Rose's granddaughter. Now, first off, Rose's granddaughter did say that they were kind of hemorrhaging money because Rose was getting hard to take care of in her old age. And Rose reveals that she still has the damn necklace and just chucks it into the water. While it's beautiful symbolically, logically it makes no sense. Your granddaughter who's been taking care of you for who knows how long, is in financial trouble because of you. Because of you. So, you throw a multi-million-dollar necklace that you happen to have been holding on to for the past 90 years and just chuck it into the water. Like, I get the symbolicness of it, but when you've got legit family members that are struggling and you've basically got the key to their life and you just throw it away, that's a dick move, bro. That's a dick move. That's a... She can eat bologna. Yeah, she says that she can eat bologna. Yep. The other thing about that is that when Rose dies and she goes to heaven, there's actually two other things. She goes to heaven and she meets Jack, right? She goes to see Jack in heaven, in Titanic heaven. Now, mind you, the Titanic only sailed for 4 days. Rose led a full life, was married, had a family. Yet when she dies and goes to heaven, she does not choose to spend it with her husband that she was married to for question mark number of years, or any of her children. No, she goes to see a man that she knew for a total of a long weekend. Yeah, she goes to see a man that she knew for a period of 4 days. He saved her life. If I'm Rose and I die, I'm going to stop in Titanic heaven for a second and be all like, look, Jack, thank you for saving my life, dude. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But I was married. I had kids. I got over you. I got to go see my husband now. Thank you. Right? There's that. But then there's also this. Rose goes to heaven. The first thing she sees when she walks through the doors into the Titanic heaven is the doorman. And he is still doing his job, being a doorman. She walks through and she sees everybody still living their lives as if they were prior to their death. I mean, the poor woman with her kids still being a poor woman with 2 children. Alright? The maitre d' still being the maitre d'. I mean, what kind of a heaven is this? This has got to be a purgatory hell for everybody. If I'm going to die and go to heaven, I am not going to be some rich woman with 2 childrens. I mean, I might still have my childrens because I love my kids, but I ain't going to be poor. I'm going to be rich. In my heaven, I'm going to be rich. Alright? If I'm gonna die and I'm gonna go to heaven, I'm not gonna be some freaking doorman for the rest of eternity. No. Thank you. Not nice. No. What kind of a God would allow this? I don't know. Like, your life sucked. Congratulations, you've made it into heaven. Enjoy eternal suck. Thanks, God. And I'm like, oh, okay, so these are all things you never think about. Now, if you want to know the other thing, the other Cinema Sins video that I was remembering, something really twisted. Something really twisted, and I'm sure you never thought about this. Now, we've all seen Beauty and the Beast, right? You've all seen the animated Beauty and the Beast from like 1992, I think. The one with Belle and the Beast, and, you know, the Disney one. Tale as old as time. Okay. Think about this. The first 10, 15 minutes or so of the film sets up the rest of the film. And that's the prologue. The Enchantress goes to the prince's door and asks if she could, by the way, she's a complete stranger to him. So she asks if she could stay the night from the cold. Because even though the glass paintings didn't show it, it was in the middle of the dead winter, even though it looked like it was just a rainy night. I remember that. It looked like that was also one of the sins too, by the way. Like on the panel, it showed that it was like a thunderstorm, but during the prologue, during the narration, he's all like, "Well, it's a terrible snowstorm." So I'm like, "What? That makes no sense either." Anyway, she's like, "Can I stay the night, little boy?" By the way, that was another sin. No prince is about to answer their own door. He's got at least a couple hundred servants that would have answered the door way before he would have. He's a 10-year-old boy. He's a spoiled rich prince. It did not make any sense that he's going to be the one answering the door. That being said, the Enchantress is all like, "Little boy, I'm a strange woman you don't know. Can I please stay the night in your house?" And the prince is all like, I don't know you, so no. I mean, it's not exactly like that, but like he gets punished for telling a completely strange old haggard woman that she may not stay the night in his house, which is indeed a castle. And he did have guards, so he probably could have found a spare room and had her guarded. I don't know. But he done said no. I mean, what kind of a message is that? Curse a child who says, "Please, stranger, do not stay in my house." That is the right thing to say. "Stranger, do not stay the night in my home. I don't know you." So anyway, she curses him. The kid is 10 years old, mind you. The narration specifically says that. He is 10 years old. No, wait, no it doesn't. It never says that at any point. No, it was after the narrator was done. Okay. They do say that he's a young prince, alright? And it says, after he was cursed, it says, "On your 21st birthday, if you do not find true love," which is not easy anyway. I mean, I'm 28, gonna be 29 here in about 2 weeks, and I'm single as a mofo. I know finding true love is not easy, right? Now, the Enchantress says, if you don't find true love by the eve of your 21st birthday, you will be cursed to remain a beast for all time. Which isn't necessarily a curse, because she's basically giving him eternal life. Like, if you don't find true love, that's fine, because he's going to be a beast for all time. Like, she's significantly lengthening his lifespan. I mean, his servants are all going to eventually turn into items, and I mean regular items. They talk about over time how they lose their consciousness and their ability to actually be people. That being said, A spoiled prince isn't gonna care about that anyway. He'd let all of his servants die. No. The thing about this that makes it seem like the Enchantress might actually be the bad guy is it says after the narration is done, there is a cut scene that says 10 years later. Now, if you want to do the math, I mean, this is 10 years later, and that's current time in the film, because Belle comes right into the scene, starts singing the song, you know, the very first song, and that's 10 years after he's already been cursed. If you want to do the math, the Enchantress cursed an 11-year-old boy. It almost makes it seem like the Enchantress is the villain here. She cursed an 11-year-old boy because he wouldn't let her stay the night. And then she gave him an impossible task. Find true love by the time you're 21. Like, legit, the Enchantress is a dick. Tell me I'm wrong. Just say it. I bet you've never thought about it that way. Also, Snow White's prince? Yeah, Snow White was dead. That was poison. He kissed her. The kiss lodged the poison apple from her neck, like from her mouth. He saved her life. Technically, he was kissing a corpse. But I bet you never thought about that, though, did you? I'd never thought about it either. Cinema Sins. Man, that was the channel that pointed it out for me. They ruined watching movies for me. They legit ruined it. Because now, I cannot watch a movie without objectively pointing out all the flaws as they happen. Well, no, Snow White was dead, but the poison was in the apple, which was still lodged. I think it was lodged in her mouth, and it was the kiss that was able to lodge the poisonous bit of apple free, and so it revived her. So she's technically a living person again, I guess. But for all intents and purposes, that makes Snow White's prince kind of a creep, because he only met her once in his life, prior to finding her in the forest. Like, prior to that, he met her once. They sang a duet. It was cute, I guess. And then she's kicked out of her house, poisoned, lives with 7 dwarves, poisoned. And then he, walking through the woods, just happens upon her. And he's all like, hey, look, it's some really hot dead girl. I'm gonna kiss her. Yeah. They sure are. If you want to think about it in that way, Sleeping Beauty's prince is as much a creeper too. I mean, he knew that Sleeping Beauty's prince is a little bit less of a creeper. I mean, he's still macking on some sleeping chick, but yeah, actually their situation is almost exactly the same. The difference being that Sleeping Beauty wasn't dead. It was well known that she was just under a curse, and that the kiss was going to wake her. But the prince only met her one time, and they sang a lovely duet. And then she gets cursed. And she's sleeping and sleeping and sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. In fact, she's only awake for like 20 minutes of her own film. Like, she's the title character, she's the named character. She's only awake for like maybe even, I don't know, a fifth of the film. She spends most of it asleep. The hero is actually her prince, the guy that she met that one time, and I guess fell in love with at first sight. Anyway, yeah, I'm done ranting. You should definitely watch my playthrough of Until Dawn. It's amazing. I rant on all the female characters. I hate Emily. I fucking hate Emily with a passion. I swear to God. Emily from Until Dawn, Victoria Chase from Life is Strange. The two of them can go jump off a cliff for all I care. Actually, Emily had to do that. Never mind. Emily could jump off a bigger cliff than was in the game. There we go. That works. Alright, you guys. My rant is done, and I apologize. I might have to alter the title of this I might have to alter the title of this just to say that there was also a really long rant at the end. Yeah, I'm just gonna edit it. The Walking Dead Season 3 Episode 5 plus really long rant at end. Editing the title now. Okay, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and notify. It's down there. If you hit the bell, then you'll know when I'm on. And if you know when I'm on, then you hit the bell. I can't wait, FYI, for Resident Evil, the remake. Resident Evil 2 remake. It's amazing. I can't wait. I cannot wait for more Resident Evil. It's Resident Evil 2, the remake, and that's coming out. I want to pre-order it, but I can't afford it. But Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. That and Resident Evil 4. Legit. Ada Wong is... I would go straight for Ada Wong. Ada Wong, there are two characters that I would go straight for. Because I'm gay, by the way. Ada Wong, from Resident Evil, I would totally be her straight husband if she weren't so into Leon. Oh, you did? I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, Rebecca's a little annoying in Resident Evil 1. In Resident Evil 0, she's actually okay. I'll talk about Resident Evil 0 later, I guess. Simply because there's a whole long rant for that. Like a long rant. FYI, Rebecca, the Resident Evil creator, the creator of the Resident Evil series, game series, yeah, he hated Rebecca. Capcom, which is the developers, the people who develop and produce the game, they forced him to create Rebecca because they did not like the idea that he already recreated Jill, because Rebecca was in Resident Evil 1 as well. There's Jill, Rebecca, Barry, and Chris. Now he created Jill and Chris to be the main characters. Now Chris would be the male, Jill is the female. Once you beat the game as Chris, you could then play it again as Jill and play it from an alternate perspective, which, by the way, I'm going to do. Because I have the remake of Resident Evil 1 too. Now, Jill pairs off with Barry, and Chris pairs off with Rebecca. Now, Capcom didn't like Rebecca, or Capcom didn't like Jill, because Jill was a very strong, independent, female heroine-type character. Now, Resident Evil came out in the late 80s. I think it was 1989, actually, the year that I was born. But it didn't make its way to America until a couple years later. And the whole idea of a strong, independent, female heroine-esque character was not quite prevalent in video games yet. It wasn't popular. They still had the macho man charisma idea. So that's why I said Capcom wasn't too keen on Jill, so they basically either gave the creator like an ultimatum, which was to center it around solely Chris, or to create a secondary female character that would be more subservient so that the young girls could relate. Which was, of course, Rebecca. And like I said, the creator didn't like Rebecca because of that. Not because he was forced to create her, but because he preferred a strong, independent lead female as opposed to one that required to be saved. Yeah. And that's another reason why the creator went in. He even said that he did not like the idea of ever creating a sequel with Rebecca in it. He was again forced to do so by Capcom because Rebecca ended up becoming a wildly popular character in the first game. He even gave her some traits that he felt might make up for some of her inability, because she couldn't fight worth a damn. She didn't know how to fight. So he made her Alpha Squad's super genius 18-year-old paramedic. Like, she's basically, think of Dr. House of paramedics. Okay? So, yeah, she's some super intelligent, super genius who just went to med school and decided that she'd become a paramedic for a super advanced SWAT team. And so he's all like, well, maybe that'll make up for it a little bit. But then he went and said that after Resident Evil 0, he said he was never going to make another sequel with Rebecca again. Until then, he made it super easy for her to die too. Like in the first game, if you don't do everything just right, Rebecca can end up dead. In fact, most people ended up killing her. There were a lot of people that didn't know that there was an alternative that could end with her surviving. There's an alternative where you could end with Rebecca, Jill, and Chris as an ending, or Jill, Chris, and Barry as an ending. However, Capcom saw that Rebecca was such a popular character, and so was Barry, for the partners, that they kind of consider it canon for both Barry and Rebecca and Jill and Chris to have all survived. So even though there's no ending showing all four of them together, it is still considered canon that all four of them survive. Which is mind-boggling. You would think that they would have an ending like that if they're going to do that. But the creator wanted it to be so that Rebecca would have a slim chance of survival. He made it hard for people to save her. And she still wound up being one of the more popular characters. Popular enough that they forced him to make a sequel, which was technically not a sequel because it was a prequel. You see, Resident Evil 0 happens the night before Resident Evil 1. So, think about this. Yeah. Resident Evil 0 happens legitimately hours before Resident Evil 1. At the very end of Resident Evil 0, you see a cutscene, and it leads to Rebecca being the only sole survivor of her entire squad to make it to the mansion. And she does make it to the mansion. She is the only survivor of her squad, actually. Alpha Squad. Chris, Jill, and Barry, they're all part of, like, Beta Squad. But their Beta Squad was, like, their Beta team was stronger. Even Albert Wesker, which is the main bad guy of the whole game franchise, said that the Beta Squad was going to be the real test. Because he knew that Chris was the best snipe on the police force, and Jill was one of the weapons experts, and so was Barry. But yeah, so the creator basically he stood, and so far, the creator actually left Capcom after the fourth game because there were some creative differences between, I guess, from what I've heard, there were creative differences. It was after Resident Evil 4 that the original game's creator left. He actually ended up creating The Evil Within, which in and of itself was another award-winning game series, which spawned a couple sequels as well. Personally, I prefer Resident Evil, though. Yeah. Resident Evil is by far one of my favorite series games. Yeah. That's hella cool. Oh my gosh. You watched my Life is Strange playthrough, didn't you? Kojima? That would be interesting. Where he breaks off and just, like, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, because you said hella cool. That part with Chloe. You should. Life is Strange. I mean, I pre-ordered season 2, so Life is Strange is an amazing game series as well. Well, it will be, because season 2 comes out shortly. And I pre-ordered it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Chloe is one of my favorite characters, and she says the word hella all the time. There are a couple scenes in that game that legit bring me to full-on crying man tears. Like when they finally find out what happened to Rachel. Or how I had to end the game. That was a hard choice too. But I'm not going to spoil any of it. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. Oh yeah, I forgot that's a thing in South Park too. I haven't seen South Park in forever. Are you talking about Sarah's death? Because that tore my heart out the first 20 billion times I saw it. Sarah's death. That's Joel's daughter. You spend the first 10 minutes of that game, you get to know the relationship between Joel and his daughter. And they have like this really cute relationship where they don't have anything in common, yet they still love each other. Like, she likes all the movies that he hates. She hates all his music. She even said so in the birthday card. She goes, you have all the weirdest music and you don't like any of my movies. And she goes, yet you're still somehow the best dad ever. How do you do that? And I'm sitting here and I'm all like, aw. And then about 10 minutes later into the game, she dies in his arms. And I'm all like, oh my god, no. Oh my god, these tears. Like, she dies slowly in his arms. God, still can't get over that. I can't wait for The Last of Us 2, but I also can't afford it. I want to pre-order it. There are 2 games that I would like to pre-order. I want to pre-order Resident Evil 2, the remake, which is coming out later this year, as well as The Last of Us 2. Did you know I played the DLC? I did my own playthrough of that. Did you know? Did you know that Ellie likes the lady bits? Ellie likes lady bits. Oh, lady bits. That's what I say for lady bits. Ellie likes the women's. I do not. What is a Patreon? Oh, is that where they could, like, I don't know how to do that. I really don't. If I did, I would totally do it. That's where you guys can help me afford games to play for yous. Really? I didn't know that Ellie was into the women's. Not at first, but then when I found out, I gained a whole new respect for her. So Julie, did you collect all the notes in The Last of Us? Because if so, there's a character in the game that you only get to know through notes that he leaves behind. His name is Ish. And he is by far he's a huge fan favorite, actually. The fans love that character, despite the fact that you never actually see him in person. You only learn his story through notes that he leaves behind. Yes. Love that dude. And the one thing that I was super disappointed about was finding out that we don't get to learn about Ish and the rest of his struggle in The Last of Us 2. I don't mind finding out more about Ellie because Ellie's my girl. In fact, Ellie might as well be my other daughter, right next to Clem. Like, Ellie and Clem, those are my daughters, man. Like, no joke. Ellie and Clem are my girls. If you haven't seen or played The Walking Dead Season 1, you really, really should. The season finale is gut-wrenchingly heartbreaking. Let me say this. Think about the way Joel and his daughter Sarah made you feel in the first 10 minutes of The Last of Us. Okay, now that you're thinking about that, I want you to reverse the roles and then lengthen it by the length of an entire game. So that 10 minutes, you actually get to spend an entire game getting to know the characters rather than the first 10-15 minutes. Then you have to watch as man, I am still not over it. I can't do it. I can't, and I don't want to tell you either. But there's a reason why Clem is alone. There's a reason why Clem is alone in the second season. Why she's alone and then has to meet new friends. Because the guy that, like, okay, so it's not her biological father. He meets her in episode 1 of season 1. And he decides that since her parents are gone, he's going to take care of her, considering the fact that she had been abandoned for days. But I'm going to tell you, even knowing the ending, it is gut-wrenching. And I'm going to say this right from the get-go. You're not going to understand right now. You won't. It's okay. It's okay not to understand this. Fuck Lily. The moment you meet her, just like punch her in the face. Just like, and I don't mean really do it because you can't, you're not given that option, but like seriously, legit, fuck that chick, man. Hate her. She kills someone that I liked. Okay, not enough spoilers. I won't give you any more. Just, there's just certain assholes in games. You should watch it for yourself. Don't let me spoil it anymore, I promise. And tomorrow I will be playing, what is it? Heavy Rain? Okay, yeah, tomorrow I'm playing Heavy Rain. So yeah, don't forget to like the video, share on Facebook. What's the rest? I totally forgot my sign off. Like, share. Oh yeah, like videos with the thumbs up, with the thumb up, not the thumb down. The thumb up, up. Share, subscribe, and hit the notify. Oh god. Okay, I'll tell you, but I'm not doing my sign out again, y'all. I've already done it like 3 times now. I'll tell you, if I remember correctly, I know my schedule. I have Sundays to myself. Mondays I do Uncharted. Tuesday I've started picking up Resident Evil. But Tuesday and Thursday I officially have to myself as well. Those are technically my me days. Occasionally I'll do a stream, because I get bored. Tuesday and Thursday. Wednesday, what is Wednesday? Wednesday is Heavy Rain. Friday is The Walking Dead. But I'm going to have to change that up because The Walking Dead new season episode comes out on a Tuesday. So I'm going to have to come up with a new schedule. Besides, this is the last episode anyway. Saturday is Heavy Rain. So my next Beyond Two Souls will then be Wednesday. Is that when you started following me? When I started following Jodie and her demon powers? Yo, Jodie's a badass. I ain't gonna lie, I do not feel as connected to Jodie. I do feel connected, don't get me wrong. But her life is like, it's not like I raised her. Not in the same manner that I did with Clem. I didn't raise Ellie. I mean, I met Ellie when she was like 14. She was already 14. And Clem was way more of a badass at the age of 14 than Ellie was. Clem was straight up shooting people in the head at like 8. So Clem was a significant... If we're going to put Clem and Ellie on a badass scale, Clem, Ellie... it's a bit closer, maybe there. Because Ellie does eventually become a badass, so I ain't gonna lie. Ellie does get some pretty badassness to her too. But Clem was badass from the get-go. I mean, she was an 8-year-old popping caps in the face type of badass. So, yeah, she was like shooting dudes. I mean, she was an innocent little girl. Don't get me wrong. She was innocent. She was sweet. She was cute, adorable, kind. In fact, it was the apocalypse that turned her into what she is now. And you don't see her become a badass all at once. It happens throughout the game. Like, she learns. If you want, you can watch my playthrough. You don't have to buy the game that way. Yeah, so season 2 is when you meet the baby. Is when Clem becomes a mama at the age of 12. And then season 3 takes place 2 years after that. She's like 14 now. And a couple of, like, episode 3 or is it episode 4 where she has her first period, and I'm like really proud for some reason. Like, I'm all like, "Oh, Clem, you're a little lady." And she's all like, "Dude, I'm bleeding out the spots that I don't want to be bleeding out of right now." She actually says Clem's exact words were, she goes, "I've traveled with women before. I know what it is." And she's talking to Javi. She goes, I know that women bleed, but I don't know what it is. And I've traveled with them before." So then Javi's trying to explain to her what puberty is, but he's so awkward about it that he can't actually say anything. Like, he's like, "It's, don't worry, Clem. It's supernatural. It just means you can be a mom." And she looks up at Javi and she's like, "I already felt like I was a mom." And then she does a whole flashback thing to when she had the 2-year-old. You know, from when she was first meeting the people that took her kid from her. And she goes, "I already felt like I was a mom once." And I'm all like, "Clem, you were a mother." I mean, kind of. A very young one. But, like, you literally see her become a young woman in front of your very eyes. And that's the thing. She's actually not a woman. She's not even real. But I still feel that connected to the character. I've never seen a game handle things like puberty. And definitely not in a post-apocalyptic zombie universe. They actually bring up what uncomfortable it would be like. At one point, Kate, you know, my brother's wife, actually says, she goes, because they're talking about how Gabe and Mariana, my niece and nephew, were like becoming young adults in the zombie apocalypse, and this is before they knew Clem. And Javi was all like, well, yeah, I can. He goes, because I remember what it was like being Gabe's age. He's like, man, it must be hell for him going through it here in the apocalypse. And Kate, my brother's wife, looks at me and she goes, whatever. It's heaven compared to what Mariana and I have to deal with. I mean, imagine dealing with bloody underwear. And then when she says that, I'm sitting there like, you don't think about things like having a period or cramps in the apocalypse. You just don't. People aren't making tampons anymore. Oh my gosh. like if the zombie apocalypse, Julie, if the zombie apocalypse ever happens, I want you to straight up go to the store, grab a book bag and just shove it full of tampons or pads or whatever the hell you want, and be all like, look, if the apocalypse is happening, I'm gonna be comfortable for a while, okay? I'm good. Like, you don't think about those things, though. No, don't even buy them all, man. If you know the apocalypse is actually, you know what? Go ahead, buy them all. Just because if you know the apocalypse is happening, like if you have like, I don't know, a couple days advance notice than everyone else, just like sell your house, sell all of your possessions except for your car, because you know you're going to need your car in the apocalypse. You know you're going to need a transportation in the zombie apocalypse. You know you're going to need it. Don't sell that. Sell everything else, but don't sell that. And then like use all the money and just like buy everything and stock it into your car. Or steal a truck. Or a van. Something big enough for your family. Okay. I really should do a podcast, shouldn't I? That could be what you trade for food, right? Only, you know, if they wanted to trade instead of shoot you dead because you don't have weapons, instead all you have is tampons. They'd be like, we could just take your tampons because we got weapons. And all you did was get tampons. And you'd be like, oh shit, well yeah, in that case, just take all the tampons. Toilet paper. Oh my god, I would miss toilet paper so much in the apocalypse. Could you imagine that though? Them pointing a gun at you and then you like stressfully starting a nosebleed, and they're like, hold up. You're looking straight up at the gun and just pop a tampon in your nose. And they're all like, okay, you can live. They're like, sweet. That would be hilarious. Where no? I don't know how I would survive in a zombie apocalypse either. Because you know I'm not about to leave Ike anywhere. Ike is my cat. I'm fairly certain you know this by now. If you've been watching me for weeks, then you know who my cat is. Boy, I'm in the talkative mood tonight. Yeah, if the apocalypse happens, I'm gonna have to stop at the store and just stock up on cat food and toilet paper and human food and weapons. and human food. And toilet paper. And water. And soda. Cannot forget the soda. Legit, I would miss Coke. I would miss soda. I would miss the hell out of soda. I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't drink alcohol. I would train him to hunt squirrels if I weren't so afraid that the zombies would try to eat him first, because I live in an apartment complex. Definitely a populated area. I got 2 people watching. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. I've already done my closer. You know, like, share, subscribe, notify. Guess there's nothing else to say, but good night, games. Good night, Game Squad! My back hurts. My back hurts.